Hello everybody and welcome to Bahrain as we head into round 10 of season 14 of Slipstream League Racing. My name is CM Punk and I'm joined as per usual today by...
Babulas, how are you guys?
Hello, and let's begin with quickly going through the standings as the cars hit the track. Yeah, tracks hit the cars, exactly. That's what I was trying to say. Let's take a look at the standings of the championship in that season in Tier 3, as the Crowley Voice is pulling away. Ferrari Driver is already in the lead by over 33 points ahead of Zoom, but this is nothing that can't be dealt with unless it wasn't for the fact that Zoom is nowhere to be found today again. We can see Crowley Voice perfectly, but I can't see Zoom today again. Lepson, who is P3 in the championship at the moment, he is here with us today, but the gap between him and the championship leader is even bigger, 58 points. But he's still technically in the fight. When it comes to constructors, Ferrari are leading with 228 points ahead of Williams, who are behind them with 171, and then Alpines with 139, who dropped back since a couple of races ago towards Williams. So we're going to lose a bit on that as well. And now let's try to focus on the qualifying session ahead of us. 16 minutes here in Bahrain to see who's going to be starting from pole position as the first cars hit the track. The only people who stayed in the pits are the championship leader Crowley Voice, Joel 8 and Lucas Vassais. Those are the guys who stay in the pits as of right now. We are waiting for the first cars to make it across the finish line to begin the hot lap, and I believe the first person to do so will be Lapson. He will be the first man to start a quick lap. I'm not sure if he's going to finish it, but he'll definitely start. First man to start the hot lap here in Bahrain. Let's see who's going to be the fastest after the first run. There's some yellow flags in behind. We've got a bit of slowing down. A bit of traffic, I would have to say, in sector 3 right there. And there we go. Lepson beginning his hot lap right now as we begin the qualifying session in Bahrain. Last week, Monaco Grand Prix delivered a bit of everything, a lot of emotions, maybe not the most positive ones from time to time, but definitely packed with emotions nonetheless. And now we look forward into Bahrain, a track where it's not that easy to hit the wall, comparing, of course, to Monaco. So we're looking for some big things, for some big racing.
It's not easy to get a safety car because
yeah.
the track is wide and you can park the car without causing a safety car, unless you are on the finish line. That basically, if you hit the wall there, then you have a safety car. But I think it's very rare for people to get over there. And we have Lepson and who's Antap is behind or Inferno. I don't know.
Right behind them, I'm pretty sure that's a Red Bull, but I don't know which one. I'm gonna have to check that. That is Inferno Koi right behind Lepson.
Lepson sets a purple second sector, but I think it's a bug of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a bug of the game. He's the first man to hit the laps, so I mean, he has to get a purple at least for a second because he's the first man to finish sector 3, so I'm pretty sure that's standard. Let's see though. Lepson across the finish line.
129.0. Okay, that's
okay, and now Snacks 130. Skintoni 130.2, Wesley, his teammate, 129.8. We've got Boosted Mess 130.679, Wonder Tommy 130.657, Futuristic on the mediums, so we're not going to count him for now. Querke 139.61. So at this point in time, Lepson with a huge gap over his teammate, sitting in provisional pole position. The first man set his time, and the man who still sits at the front, Antap, goes P3. Gets dethroned by Piggy. Nikos spreads Alpines with very small gap towards Lepson. As it's getting smaller and smaller, people are starting to get on the pace. Nico is P2 at the moment. Vertier goes P6. Dressing Gecko goes P7.
Okay.
Tilde up into P9.
I have a ginger man asking if he is able to join the league. Of course you are able. Basically we are racing from a PC. So if you want, you can join the Discord, as you can see, and you can agree to the rules and participate in future events that the SLR will have.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all the links are in the description, so if you're looking for anything, the Discord, this should be in the description of both Twitch and YouTube, if I'm correct. I'm taking a look at Lucas Vatsize, who has just put purple sector 1. He still hasn't set the time, but that purple sector 1 is looking very promising for the Alfa Romeo driver. See how he goes through second sector. This is where he can technically lose the most compared to sector 3. He's going to get a bit of that slipstream from his opponent right there, the Red Bull, who gave him a bit of slipstream down this DRS straight in sector 2 as he heads for the corners. This should be a pretty decent time from an Alfa Romeo of Vatsize. Let's see what he can do.
Purple
Second, also
2?
purple. Ooh, that is looking very promising.
Yes,
the
but
only thing he has to do
we've
is
seen
just don't
the bag. We've seen the bag. We don't know if it's honestly purple or not.
Yeah, maybe it's a bug, but I'm not sure. 124 down the main straight, the final meters before the finish line, and Lucas Vatsize, no, he's not going for pole, so must have been bugs, because I refuse to believe he lost over half a second in that final sector. So 129.493, still it's a great result so far. He's sitting at P3, but it's nowhere near the pole position time set by Lepson.
And the Kroll is out now, outlap.
Yeah, Crowley's out on an outlap. Joel, he's going to have to go for one more round because he spun, I believe, at the end of his first hot lap. So now he's going to go for another one after putting on fresh tires. So Crowley and Joel...
Crowley didn't go out on the first lap. It's the
no, Joel did.
Ah, Joel.
No, Joel did. Yeah.
Welcome,
I'm pretty sure I saw Joel
spin. Welcome, GGPT Gaming.
Now
Gaming yesterday had the first round of their championship in Xbox and PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of carnage, as always.
As per usual. We got Crowley Voice beginning his hot lap, so now I'm not gonna suggest myself with these purple sectors, but I mean the championship leader will definitely be trying to get onto the pole position. So far, Lepson sitting comfortably at the lead. Only real challenge so far from Nyko and Haas with 129.199, but it's not enough. Of course, the first one is purple, but then again, we can't trust that too much. However, we still have to acknowledge the fact that Cody Voice is the championship leader for a reason, and he will definitely be looking forward to pick up another pole position.
Nice exit on the hairpin.
Alpine getting out of the way to not give him the slipstream, the mistake that Red Bull driver did when giving slipstream to his rival from Alfa Romeo, Vatsize, which he benefited on this heavily. And now Scrolly Voice rounding out second sector, again purple, but then again we have to wait for the finish line to actually see if this is an actual purple.
You can't trust the game.
Yeah, this is so hard because we don't know if we should be excited or not. I'm pretty sure it is an actual purple. I mean, championship leader down the main straight onto the finish line. He goes. It is 128.6.
He's destroying Lepson right now. Almost half a second.
Wow.
Below Lepson's time. Lepson has to do a lot of work.
I mean, Crowley Voice is absolutely dominant in the recent races and this whole season, and now this domination is coming into play. But then again, Lepson is not the one to back off, so we have to wait for him to put another lap as he's just beginning his second hot lap of the session with 9 minutes left to go. Nyko is also in the fight for pole position, but he's gonna have to put extra amount of work to make it happen. I mean, of course, technically everybody is in the fight, but so far they
almost
look like the most
2
promising
of a
guys.
second.
Ooh, this could be good. This could be good. He has to improve much more in the second sector because you can't gain too much in the last one. So sector 1 and sector 2 is the place you should be improving your lap times, and the final sector should just be formality at this point. We're still waiting for Futuristic and Inferno Koi to actually put a time on softs, so we can't judge them as well as they only done 1 delta lap on mediums. Lepson rounding up second sector, and what time is this going to be? Is going to improve or not? Let's see. Goes for the corner. A bit less of improvement. I mean, it is still an improvement, but nowhere near enough to fight for pole. If he keeps up the pace, he will go underneath 129. He'll be the second driver to do so today. The only man who so far went underneath 129 is the championship leader Crowley Voice. Lapson can do it right now. And as he goes down the main straight, he does improve. He even puts a third purple technically, but it's not enough for pole position. But he makes his front row position much stronger so far, so that is a good news for him. Looking at Nyko, slight improvement from the Haas after sector 1. Again, nowhere near enough to even fight for front row right now, but maybe that second sector will be coming in hand for Haas driver as Nyko makes his way through second sector. Let's see how well is he gonna go for this one. That wasn't his perfect exit out of this corner. This could have been handled much better by Nyko. As he's heading in for sector 3. How much of an improvement is there going to be after second sector? Nyko, how much it is? Ooh, 0.2. Okay, looking good. Of course, I'm trying to ignore that purple sector due to game glitching heavily. But now let's see if there are any hopes for at least a front row for Nyko, as he had a pretty decent first sector, great second one, a bit wider on the final corner, but he kept it on the track limits, and now he's gonna hit the finish line to go P2 or not? No, he does not. He comes very close to Lapson,
very
as he
close.
goes
Only 20
8
million.
for 4.
0.02 difference.
Yeah, so that is a very small gap between Nyko and Lapson. And now we wait for everybody else who will try to improve their lap times. In the meantime, one of the guys from mediums made a time on softs. Now, who was that? Because I've actually lost myself. Was it Antab? I'm not sure. Who made times from mediums to softs? Because Futuristic is still to set time on softs. But the second driver already did it. Futuristic is already on a hot lap on softs. So let's see how much Aston Martin driver will improve from that P11 sitting at the bottom of the board right now with 5 minutes left to go, as he's improving by over half a second comparing to this run on his previous run on mediums. This might be good, but isn't going to be good enough to gain plenty of positions as he goes for the final corner of his second hot lap. And onto the main straight. Where's Futuristic gonna go from P18 as he crosses the finish line? P17 only. Well, that's a disappointment. We're waiting for something more to happen. Nyko, he's, I believe, on an in-lap already.
Betset is on a hot lap.
Yeah, interesting Gecko. I'm trying to see these guys also coming in this lap. I believe everybody will be coming in this lap. Vatsize, he's the only one on hot lap, and he does improve. Ooh, nice chunk of
almost half a
improvement.
second. Oh my god.
Vatsize P4. That Alfa Romeo is looking good so far of Lucas Vatsize. It's going P4 at the moment, 129.067, so he's just on the edge of joining the underneath 129 club alongside Nyko, Lapson and Crowley Voice. But so far it wasn't enough. 4 minutes left to go.
River Snacks is on outlap and Joel too.
Yeah, let's see. We're gonna have to wait a bit for them to begin their hot laps. This will be most likely the final attempt for anybody who wants to improve. To put an improvement, Larson has joined the session, so we got 2 Aston Martins right away in the lobby with 4 minutes left to go. Vatsize is on in lap. Everybody else is either in the pits on out lap. Right now on the tracks we've only got 5 cars, now 4 since one came in. And now we have to wait a bit, some cars to begin their hot laps. The first man will be a Mercedes, and that is a Mercedes of Boosted Mess. He'll be the first man to try to improve. Let's see what the Mercedes driver can do from this position, sitting at the bottom of the board so far, P18, looking to get out of there. And will he be able to do so? As he goes through sector 1. A bit low there on the gear, but he goes through the corners nice and tidy with no issues so far whatsoever. Now this is going to be a difficult part of the track when you can both gain and lose the most amount of pace, so he has to be careful on that. as he does make an improvement, 0.2 almost worth of improvement. So Boosted Mess is on a run right now, trying to get out from the bottom of the board, gain a bit positions here and there. But so will everybody else, of course, as he's going through second sector. This is looking pretty good so far, pretty decent. So Boosted Mess might have a chance
He needs to
get
improve further
his position fixed.
to avoid being lost.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to start from this position. All of the chaos and carnage will be right ahead of you, so you want to get out of there as soon as possible. But you can't very often. 0.365 of improvement, so that is a great improvement so far from Boosted Mess. But how many positions in reality is this going to give him? This is looking like around P14, P13, something like
P11
that.
if he goes 0. Oh, outside the track.
Yeah.
But no, he gave up.
I mean, if he goes like that, he's not going to improve at all, so it's a wasted chance for Boosted Mess.
Eversnax is coming in.
Eversnax. So Eversnax will see how he's going to go, as he is P9 at the moment. Is it going to be any improvement from him? Yes, there is. P5. Nice one from Williams' driver. Eversnax improving. Who else is going to improve himself? Everybody on an out lap. 1 minute left to go, so we're looking at the final rounds of laps.
Lepson
about to go down.
At the top of the out lap train.
And
he's
Lepson is gonna begin it. So let's see what Lepson can do. So far, #1 contender to defeat Crowley Voice in a battle for pole position, but Nyko is also there as well. Maybe Vatsize will give us one more of those laps, so we just have to keep our eyes open 24/7 in this session to see who's gonna come out on top. Lepson going for the first sector. Is there gonna be any improvement for the Alpine driver? Gonna have to wait to find out. Oh no, we're gonna find out right now. Absolutely no improvement after that spin. So Lepson's session might be over. Yeah, Crowley Voice. I don't think Lepson will be able to scrap that, so that'll be most likely a session done for Lepson. Crowley Voice, who is not heavily but improving nonetheless, while sitting at pole position. So at this point, the only person who can realistically challenge him, in my opinion, is Nyko, who is at P3 at the moment.
Invalidated.
And Crowley invalidated. So let's switch to Nyko then. Maybe he can show us some kind of fight. Lepson and Crowley has bottled their final laps, but it doesn't really have to matter. If no one else improves, they will still be in the front row. All eyes are on Nyko right now. Can he challenge at least Lepson for the front row? Maybe even Crowley for pole position as he goes through second sector. Tilde retires at P9. Eversnax retires at P5. And Nyko is going through this sector. Is there going to be any kind of improvement after this sector? Let's see, Nyko. There is improvement. There is improvement. This is not only a chance for the front row, this is even a chance for pole position. Realistically, Nyko is on a run. Great final lap from him, but is this going to be enough for the Haas driver to put it on pole? Crowley Voice, the championship leader, sitting at pole for the most of the session, and now Nyko, who's going to throw a challenge at him. Haas driver across the finish line, and he's done it! 1:28.598, and Nyko is on pole position for the Bahrain Grand Prix, unless no one else takes it away from him, and I don't think they will. Nyko snitches it on the last lap. Beautiful final lap from Nyko, who will start from the pole position, putting down Crowley.
I think Crowley had the chance to go for the second lap, but he didn't. I don't know why. He had the time.
Maybe he believed it was enough. Maybe he underestimated the opponent. He was like, no, I got the pole position, doesn't matter. And then Nyko came out of...
Nyko took the pole position, he was before the last quarter.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I'm asking myself why he didn't attempt to go.
Maybe it's because of the starting positions. Do you know which position starts from the inside in Bahrain? P1 or P2? Which one has the inside line and which one's going to start on the outside?
P2 is on the inside.
Yeah, maybe Crowley prefers to start on the inside.
And look how close the time is.
Yeah.
Between Nyko and Crowley. Under
Yeah, that
1/10 of a
is
second.
incredibly small gap. So Nico on pole, Crowley front row. Then we got Lepson, Vatsai, Skintoni, Inferno Koi, Snacks, Piggy, Weasley, and Wonder Tommy. That's the top 10. And the bottom 10 are Tilde, Querke, Antap, Joel, Dressing Gecko, Vertia, Futuristic, Boosted Mess, and Larson. So that's the grid for the Bahrain Grand Prix. And Nico is looking really good so far. But then again, we're gonna have to wait if he can deliver it all the way to the finish line while being under pressure from the championship leader Crowley Voice, who will surely not back it up, and all the rest of the grid right behind them. So this is looking very interesting as we head into the race in Bahrain. So as the tradition goes on, how many safety cars do you believe we're gonna see today in Bahrain?
I don't think it's a very wide track and not an easy one, but for the sake of it, I would say 2.
I have a feeling we might have 3. Not really sure why, but it's a wild prediction I'm willing to take. So I'm gonna say 3 safety cars, a realistic option for me. Anyway, we'll see which one of us will be right. Maybe none of us will be. I don't know. I'm very interested about the tire option, about which tires our drivers are going to be putting on for the beginning of the race. We know that usually some drivers experiment with softs early on due to a possible early safety car. I don't think that's going to be the case in Bahrain. We don't expect an early safety car. Formation lap is now underway, and let's take a look at the tire situation. We do have one gentleman on softs, and that is an actually important driver because he's a championship leader. The Crowley Voice is starting on softs. Now that is interesting. Nico on hards, Lepson mediums, Vatsa is on hards, and the rest of the grid on mediums. That is one of the most dominant tires picks when it comes to the season. Almost everybody on mediums, 2 guys on hards, 1 man on softs. So I believe the strategy for Crowley is just to overtake Nico as soon as possible, get the hell out of there, let them fight against each other. As for Nico, he's just gonna have to hold on to Crowley Voice and somehow keep up behind him while he will be on the much better tire set on softs. But if he'll be able to keep up, he will benefit a lot at the end of the race. Jake Yol actually joined the session as well, so we're gonna have a full grid for the start of the Bahrain Grand Prix. He wasn't here for the quality session, but he will be here for the race start. So we're having full grid in round 10 of Seasons 14 Slipstream League Racing. That is quite the sight, as Nico will start us off in a moment, followed by Crowley Voice, who will most likely try to get him into turn 1 if he gets a good reaction. Lepson on mediums, and Vatsize, who's on hards. He should be technically slowing down everybody behind him, but that is just a theory. Ocean said no idea.
Nico will go for the softs at the 20 lap.
Yeah. Ocean said that he has no idea who Jake Yole is. I have no idea who is this guy. Never seen him in my life. But I mean, as long as he's a part of the league, why not? Let him have a chance. I'm not sure if he's supposed to be here, but I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Let him try. So, to make their way onto the grid, Nico with a hell of a job to keep up with the championship leader, Crowley Voice, on the best possible tire compound compared to the worst possible tire compound. So it's hards against softs, Haas against the Ferrari, Nico against Crowley Voice. And who's going to be on top of the world after this race? Well, most likely Crowley will keep the championship lead, but who's going to win the Bahrain Grand Prix? That is quite the question. A couple of drivers failed to line up properly as per usual. This time it's Ever Snacks, who didn't fit onto the starting position. Who's gonna join him in that? Anybody? Everybody perfect? Oh, Dressing Gecko, second man to not line up properly. And I believe the rest is history, as the lights are turning red and we're racing in Bahrain, as Nico is pulling off nicely from the start. Crowley Voice is trying to get him into the inside, into turn 1. Will he do it? Jake Yole retires, as Nico is going to have problems into turn 1, as Crowley Voice tries to make a move. Can he squeeze himself past the Haas? Yes, he's going to do it. Right on the outside right now, and he does head into the lead. Crowley regains the lead of the Grand Prix immediately after turn 1, as Lepson is sneaking up behind Nico as well. In the meantime, Vatsai's already dropped down to P6. We have some movement in the midfield. A lot of fight, actually, in the midfield with cars going side by side. But the top stays the same after turn 1. Crowley, Nyko, and Lepson. Then Snacks, who is already under pressure from Piggy. While behind him is actually interesting fight. Vatsai's defending. Look at Vatsai's, who is having an absolute train stuck behind him. All these guys trying to overtake an Alfa Romeo on a slower tire compound. Inferno Koi now fighting Skintoni side by side. So we've got plenty of things going on in that midfield. The batter for P6 actually. And now Inferno Koi, he's gonna have to switch from the inside to the outside, defending off Skintoni so far. Holding him out. We had a car in the wall. Skintoni.
Yes.
Virtual safety car, but nonetheless, Skintoni
is out
of the
Grand Prix. live on stream.
Yeah,
we got it live on stream. Oh my god!
No idea. Oh my god! What a collision! What a hit for Mercedes. So yeah, Skintoni is out of the race. The first virtual safety car of the day. That's actually gonna help Nyko quite a bit because every piece of race that can slow down Crowley voice, no matter if it's a safety car, virtual safety car, anything else, it's great for Nyko.
And virtual safety car is over.
Again. Yeah, here we go. And Nyko is actually keeping up behind Crowley voice nicely. He's gonna follow him through with Lepson, while Eversnux has already dropped over 1.4 behind those guys. So the top three will be heading into battle for the lead as of right now. Everything is going on in the front and in the midfield because we also have some fight in the midfield. As for example, Antap is fighting off Tilde. Ooh, Joel. Yeah, Joel is fighting harsh against Antap, but he does make a move up against the Red Bull driver, going up into P11. And now we wait for the things to escalate. The gaps in the top are getting bigger. Crowley is pulling away for over 1 second. Yellow flags in the back, and that was caused by Aston Martin and Mercedes. Boosted Mess and Futuristic are both spinning at the middle of Sector 2. So second Mercedes with unluckiness in this race, and Aston Martin also in the back. But we keep on racing. Crowley pulling more and more away from Nyko with every meter, while Lepson is trying to hold on.
Detach himself from the rest of the grid because he's on the soft. And yeah, I think he has at least 8 more rounds at the best case scenario to improve his position.
Yeah, he's gonna have to use a lot of pace to pull away as fast as possible. Inferno Koi actually is now holding the fastest lap of the race as we turn on DRS. So now we expect even more fighting. Some overtakes in the midfield. Antap and Joel swapping positions again, going side by side, but Joel holds on to that P11 as he regains position from the Red Bull driver. In top, not many things going on. Lepson will most likely overtake his opponent Nyko on the next DRS straight, as Nyko will have nothing more to defend with. Futuristic and Boosted Mess both made it into the pit stops for fresh tires and most likely wings.
They have reserved the DRS, so Lepson will have an easy task if he wants to take right now.
Yeah, I'm still looking at Vatsai's because he's on the hards as well, and he's slowing down a lot of guys right behind him, so this might be interesting as Wesley is getting closer towards the Alfa Romeo, but so is Inferno Koi, and the rest of the bunch right behind them. So this is just, you can smell some overtakes right from here.
And there is a DRS lane from B11 and back.
Yeah, we have two interesting group of fights on the track in the midfield today, as the top is rather quiet for a change, and the midfields are going at it. Wesley is trying to find a way past Vatsai's. Ooh, and he hit him, and he's going sideways. He saved it barely, but is going to lose position for Inferno Koi, who picks up P7 due to an Alpine's mistake. In the meantime, Lepson overtook Nyko as he heads for P2, and now Inferno Koi will gain another position on slower Vatsai's. So the reason for that, he's got better tires. He's on mediums, Vatsai's on hards. Will be slower right now. Weasley is struggling again, but it's going to be way faster right now. But Vatsai's has a DRS, so he's going to have to wait a bit longer. Querke drops 2 position in McLaren, while we stay with Weasley, Vatsai's, and Inferno Koi, these guys are right now going at it. Nyko is holding right behind Lepson, while Eversnax is catching up towards Nyko. So there will be 3 different type of battles going on right now in the top, midfield, and the bottom. So all around we've got some action going on. We can basically pick from it. Vatsize is trying to battle Inferno Koi. 5-second penalty. The first penalty of the day is for Futuristic, who comes into the pit lane only
And
to
he
retire. And Lucas Vatsize tries to regain the position, but he had to back it off from this attempt against Inferno Koi. And he makes it just in time to not run to his opponent from Red Bull. So definitely Vatsize will have another go at it again. Now we have to wait to see what's going to happen between the Alfa Romeo and the Red Bull. Crowley Voice takes the fastest lap of the race so far at lap 5. And the Crowley Voice is pulling away heavily. Yeah, he's pulling away heavily. I mean, the gap is getting bigger and bigger. Vatsize, he's not going to wait any longer. Goes to the inside, makes the move done, but the Alpine is lurking on the inside. Oh, almost 3 cars wide. And Inferno Koi is not going to back it off. He's going to try to win the position back, but he can't. And now he's going to lose position to Alpine as well. So 2 positions dropped by Inferno Koi. This is how much of a DRS gives you an advantage. 2 positions dropped just because he was the one without the DRS. But I'm looking at their battery situation, and I can see that that lamp on the Alpine's back is blinking, which tells me that he's running out of ERS. I'm correct. 11% on that Alpine of Wesley, while Inferno Koi still has about 30% on his battery. Vatsize also running low on battery, and this is causing guys like Wonder Tommy and Tilde to catch up. So we're going to have plenty of fight going on in that train in the midfield, as Vatsize is still leading it with a couple of position swaps. Here comes Wesley down the inside, and he's done it. Beautifully moving here. That was a difficult situation to overtake, but he's done it nicely as he goes back up into P6, while Alfa Romeo and Red Bull had to break right behind him. This is very close, and now Inferno Koi will try to make a move against Vatsize. Will he do it? Vatsize swarming a bit on the straight. On the back, Vertier gains a position on Antap to go back up into P12. And now the DRS is enabled, but Wesley is still holding on. But here comes Vatsize round the outside. And will he make the move on the Alpine? He's trying to squeeze himself in there. He should back off. Yes, he does back off in here. He had no chance, and that's going to cost... Ooh, Inferno Koi! He wanted to use this for himself, but he misjudged that. He clipped the Alfa Romeo, and he's now in the gravel down to P16. So that is a shame for Inferno Koi.
The Ferrari! Oh, Wonder Tommy!
Oh my goodness!
To the car.
Yeah, Larson dropping a bit position. So plenty of things going on right now. Vatsize is the one who is happy about the situation currently. He's just running behind Wesley, who is still P6 as of right now. We got some yellow flags in the back. That is the McLaren of Querke going off, and I can see Alfa Romeo in the back as well.
Till they struggling. Got pointed into the wall. Inferno Koi loves to smash people off the track. I can't say anything. Only the FIA will decide if they're gonna be penalties.
Yeah, we're not here to judge, we're here to observe and tell people what's going on the screen as if they don't have their own eyes. That's our job in the mission, so we're going to focus on that. All the penalties will be handled by the FIA, thankfully. So yeah, we won't have to worry about that. We've got some moves in the back. I can see Larson trying to find a way past Antap while having Verti on his back. In the meantime, Nyko regains position in P2 as he gets up ahead of Lepson. So plenty of things going on right now. Larson makes a move on the Red Bull driver, goes up into P11 ahead of Antap. And now he's going to hunt down Joel 8. Antap is trying to win the position back, and he went too wide due to a miscalculated attack. And now he's down to P14, 13 behind Vertier. The second group of the midfield actually is still close to each other because Wesley is still holding off Vatsize, who is still looking for his way past the Alpine driver while having his teammate right behind him. And then Wonder Tommy, who is not underneath 1 second gap, but he's still holding on. Joel actually dropped 2 places now. He was P10 right about now, and he's now P12. Dropped position to both Verti and Larson is back in the pointing position. Perhaps not for too long because of the fact he doesn't have a DRS, and the rest of the guys behind him will have a DRS. But he's still got a long way to go, and he still can pick up plenty of things. As Lepsin, I can see, is starting to struggle to keep up behind Nyko. These hard tires could be gaining advantage early on. I mean, surprisingly, we're only lap 7, and these hards of Nyko seems to be working better than Lepsin's mediums, or perhaps Lepsin is just lacking the pace right now. Maybe it's not the cut of tires, but one way or another, Nyko is pulling away from Lepsin. At least he's trying to do his best to do so, and he's gonna try to get closer towards Crowley Voice, who is at this point in time not pulling away from Nyko anymore, but he's keeping the safe distance between himself and the Haas drivers, so it's nothing too much to be afraid of for now.
Maybe he's not pushing to preserve the tires.
Yeah, exactly.
If he wants to go for the hards, he will have to pit about round 11, 11 to 12 to go for the hards and go all the way to the rest of the...
Oh! Wesley! What happened? We missed that. It looked confusing to me because it looked like some kind of glitch, because I was just switching to Wesley and then he was going off sideways. No idea what happened here. We missed that. But yeah, Wesley is all out of shape. And that puts Vetsize up into P6, who is now followed by his teammate Tilde, who technically should overtake him any moments. He's on mediums, but at this point hards might be just about the same or better. And Wonder Tommy is gonna follow 2 Alfa Romeos. Larson gets up to P9 due to that, and Vertier gets back into a pointing position thanks to Wesley's mistake, who is now down to P12.
Vertier or Virte?
Ooh, Crowley in the pits. Crowley in the pits,
Yeah,
Let's see what tires is he gonna go to. Mediums. Interesting. Perhaps thinking about a double stop, maybe hoping for a safety car, because I don't think it's gonna go 20 laps on the mediums. I refuse to believe that. I mean, we've seen stranger things happening in here, but I hardly believe that, as we have some shifts in the midfield.
In my opinion, he made a mistake. Unless he did,
maybe.
Unless he didn't change the tires he wanted to wear on the PDF or the MDF.
No idea. But in the meantime, Joel and Wesley are going at it, and Wesley gets spun after making contact with
and we
Joel.
have debris on the track. Oh my god.
Ooh, we got a bit of wing flying off. McLaren dressing Gecko. I mean, give it praise to the guy. He just made 3 places in 1 turn after the carnage ahead of him. That was a nice, smooth jump on the inside from Gecko over to Wesley, Joel, and Antap.
Antap has no front wing.
Yeah, there was front wing damage, I believe, on Wesley or perhaps Joel. Someone from these two made damage, and in the meantime, Crowley Voice already making places, going up to P9 ahead of Vertier. And Ocean says that Crowley did not make a mistake, that is his strategy. So your theory goes into the bin while we wait for the strategy to play itself. Maybe it's gonna be successful, maybe not, maybe we can judge that. Anyway, right now Crowley is keep on making positions, just past Larson for P8, as he's now gonna hunt down his next upcoming rival, his actual teammate, Wonder Tommy. As in the meantime, Lepsin gains the lead of the Grand Prix here in Bahrain as he overtook Nyko eventually. Now Nyko's gonna follow him in the DRS zone. And Wonder Tommy, he actually passed Tilde. Tilde was P6 a couple of laps before, he's now P7. Antap gets a 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane as him and Joel come into the pits right now. And now we see what's gonna happen.
He's closing the gap very, very fast.
Yeah, he's absolutely flying on these mediums, but now he has to pass not only 2 Alfa Romeos, but also his teammates, so he's gonna have to perhaps struggle a bit.
It's gonna be easy peasy.
Yeah, it would be technically easy, but he can't make a mistake as he goes down the inside of Tilde, and he will make that move nice and tidy. And now alongside his teammate Wonder Tommy, don't expect too much fight from the boys in red as he makes a pass on to Wonder Tommy, and is now looking to hunt down because Wet Size.
Tell me,
Keep
Ocean,
on going.
what's wrong? Ocean wants to tell me something, and I think it's gonna be a joke, but you know the jokes of Ocean.
Yeah.
So
the only
Crowley back at P5.
Yeah, Crowley is flying on these mediums, and now he's got 6 seconds towards Piggy, which he should be cutting down any moment, already underneath 6 seconds. So he's flying, makes the fastest lap of the race as well. Nico regained the lead from Lepson as he's leading the race again. And Lucas Vetsice is actually going to have to defend right now. He's got a Ferrari behind him, an Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin, and Alfa Tauri, so plenty of people lining up behind him as Wesley makes a move up into P11 ahead of Dressing Gecko. And I'm trying to see who's gonna make a move anytime soon.
Already he goes 1 second of a gap.
Crowley is flying right now. 4.4 already, 4.1 towards Piggy, so he will surely get back into the lead any moment now. So the only question is, how is he going to go to the finish line? Because at the end of the race, these mediums will be bleeding if he's planning a one-stop. That's our theory right now. He's going for a one-stop only, and these mediums to the end will be difficult to handle, but it's not impossible. We've seen some more bizarre things from Crowley, Tire Whisperer. He did some crazy things this season with those tires, so just might make it again, as he's already only 3 seconds behind Peggy. So he is catching up to the Alpha Tauri much sooner than perhaps expected, and he will definitely pass him soon enough. That huge train reaching from Lucas Vatsice all the way down to P10.
Improves on the fastest lap.
I mean, he will just expand this, he will just use these tires. Untap passed Joel for P15, while Wonder Tommy is trying to make a move against Vatsice, but he wasn't able to do it just about yet. He's going to have a DRS right behind the Alfa Romeo, and he will do it into the next corner as he makes a dive on the inside. And Wonder Tommy is up into P6. The Alfa Romeo trying to fight back Vatsice in a difficult spot, but he kept it on the track, and now he's going to have to think, does he make a move on Wonder Tommy to regain the position or let his teammate Tilde through? Because in this situation, not only is he not leading Wonder Tommy, he's also locking off his teammate who's already defending from Larson and Vertius. So Alfa Romeo having a lot of stuff to be done in this race strategy-wise, and trying to comprehend it somehow. As Vetsice is trying to go there. Crowley Voice already passing Peggy for P4. Done it clean. As he's now hunting down Everett Snacks 4 seconds towards the Williams on old mediums, while Lepson is falling off. So this is clearly a sign that hards are now better than mediums, and that is great news for Nico, who is pulling away. He's already got a 1.3 worth of gap built over Lepson. Is going to try to expand it over the next laps as these hearts are getting put into work, while Crowley is hunting down Ever Snacks. And I see Tilde. I just switched to him and he's going wide in the final quarter, which means he's gonna drop 2 positions. So he decides to use that to get into the pit lane to change his tires, but he gets a 5-second time penalty for not reaching the proper speed limit, while Vetsice and Tommy are still going at it. And Wonder Tommy still defends against the Alfa Romeo, while Larson and Verti are having the battle of their own. And Tilde is coming out of the pits on fresh parts.
My god! Oh my god, that's Larson and broke his front wing.
Oof. That's gonna be costful for the Aston Martin. Front wing damage is a heavy hit in your race.
He will have to pit right now. And we forgot about Crowley, he's on P4.
What do you mean forgot? We can't forget about the fact that this guy is just erasing everybody when it comes to pace. He's just flying right now, but the tides might shift at the ending stages of the race when we get to the final laps. Perhaps fresh tires of Nico after his pit stop, scheduled pit stop, will be better. We don't know that. We can only suspect, but as of right now, it is true that Crowley is absolutely on fire. 1.5 already towards Ever Snacks, and he's not slowing down. Lepson comes into the pits to put on fresh tires. So is Ever Snacks. So Crowley will have a long freeway all the way to Nico, who is now 8 seconds ahead of him. I mean, what can Nico do? At this point, the best he can do is perhaps pit in a moment and try to catch Crowley. But if is that even possible? Maybe he can try to stay out and hope for a safety car. That's also a possibility. We've got plenty of more pit stops because Larson and Wonder Tommy also make their planned pit stop. And that's going to shift up the standings a bit. As of right now, Crowley is second with Peggy going up into P3, Vetsize P4. Under pressure from Vertier, P5 now. Lepson comes out of the pits at P6. Gecko goes out to P7. Snacks, who is making the move on Gecko right now as we speak, goes up into P7. Inferno Koi in P9. And Wonder Tommy, who just made a move on Tilde to gain P10. Tilde trying to fight back against Wonder Tommy. Can he do it? Yes, he can. Tilde regains P10 from the Ferrari as the battle for the pointing position continues, and Anta, in the meantime, gains a position on Larson to pick up P13.
Wonder Tommy under 7 seconds. And
yeah,
as I was expecting that, I had a cold joke from Ocean Chief. What did the ancient Greeks wear on their feet? Do you know?
I don't know.
Tennis shoes.
Oh my goodness. I wasn't expecting anything higher than that, but yeah. Piggy is coming in for his scheduled pit stop. And Verity as well, but he gets a 5-second time penalty for spitting in the pit lane. That is quite the common occurrence this race so far. So Nico is still leading, 5.6.
Begin the pits.
Crowley voice hunting down. Lepson, who is P4, 3 seconds behind Vatsize, who's gonna have to come to the pits anytime sooner. There's a discussion in the chat about Crowley's strategy. I have no idea what Crowley is cooking, but so far seems to be working out. I wonder what Nico's response to this is going to be, because at this point he seems like an only person who can actually challenge Crowley voice for the win here tonight. He stunned us all in quali, but can he repeat that during the race? That is yet to be answered. Lepson is hunting down Vetsize, already 2 seconds behind the Alfa Romeo. The Alpine driver is on good run right now.
And Crowley is Nico in front of him. He's closing steady, slow but steadily.
Yeah. So
I think he's gonna pit one more time. That's
Crowley?
Crowley, yes. That's my estimation, but you never know.
I don't think so, really. I mean, he's still got 4.5. I mean, if Nico pits right now, he would have to really be on fire to catch Crowley. And I have no idea if he's going to be that quick. It's a risk that I don't think Crowley will take. Staying out at this point seems like a better option. Anyway, Vetsize goes on his planned pit stop as he's coming in for fresh mediums. He started on hards.
Let's take the times that we have right now. Lepson is 17, almost 17 seconds behind Crowley, and I don't know how much a full pit stop does. It's 20, 25.
No idea, but I'm pretty sure if Crowley would go to pit stop right now, he would came out behind Lepson. That's my guess.
Yes, he would be behind Lepson, but
yeah, I think he'll be behind Lepson.
He would be on fresh mediums, and we know what mediums can do if they perform well.
Yeah, I mean, Crowley is proving to us right now what they can do, so surely a lot, but yeah. Anyway, Nyko is coming in this lap, so now let's see what he's gonna do. I mean, medium seems like an only possibility at this point, but maybe he's gonna stun everybody. Maybe fresh softs, I don't know, something to spice things up. Nope, it's a medium set for Nyko, and where's he gonna come out of the pit lane? He's gonna be P3, should be, right behind Lepsin, right ahead of Ever Snacks as Lepsin passes him right now. And Nyko goes back on the track, so now the race for the win has begun. Nyko is P3, 2 seconds behind Lepsin, in total 18 seconds behind Crowley Voice. Crowley boxing lap 1920 for softs, says our gamer. Well, that could be the case. I have personally no idea what's gonna happen.
What did he say?
A gamer said that Crowley is gonna box lap 19, maybe 20 for fresh softs. That's our gamer's what he says. Anyway, I can see a fight going on between Vatsai's Wonder, Tommy, and Vertier. These guys are going at it. Wesley is there as well, and Vertier makes 2 wide after this corner. He drops 2 positions to Wonder, Tommy, and Wesley, who go up. Chief says don't listen to gamer. Okay, I mean, opinions flying in the air right now. Good, at least there's some kind of discussion going on. It's better than that than silence. Wesley is trying to make the most of these hearts, but they're not really effective in the fight against fresh mediums, Vet says.
We have a fight behind with Wesley and Vivia. They are touching each other.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys are going at it. Wonder Tommy's still trying to hold on to Vet says, but he's just faster right now on his fresh tires. So, Crowley Voice having 15.3 worth of gap over Lepsin. Nyko having 2.6 gap towards Lepsin. Piggy goes... Wait, what? Have you seen that? I just got a huge notification that Piggy went down to P12. I don't know why. Must be a glitch. Anyway, Inferno Koi has came in for the pit stop. He's putting on fresh softs. He's gonna have to drive on them to the finish line, which is gonna be difficult to the end, but still, he will definitely do his best to try to get back into it. We're trying to keep our eyes open for the gap in the top, but since the guys in the front will not fight until the next couple of laps, we can try to shift camera. I can see Piggy going up against Larson. Gecko is trying to sneak up right in behind them. Yeah, Piggy definitely wants to pass Larson, but he has to do it with his cold head. He has to keep his cool and don't make a mistake as gonna sit back behind the Aston Martin and wait for the best possible situation for an overtake. A gap between Nyko and Lepsin 1.5, so he's half a second away from getting a DRS. Piggy gets a DRS right now and he makes a move down the inside for a pointing position P10 for Piggy against Larson, but this fight has just begun. Nyko sets the fastest lap, so at least that lap was faster than the one Crowley put back on those mediums, so that is interesting sight to behold, as Nyko is, at least presumably right now, faster than Crowley Voice. They'll make him the fastest man on this track right now, as he's hunting down Lepsin. The faster he gets him, the better. He will have the DRS from the Alpine driver, and then 15 seconds toward Crowley Voice, and the gap keeps on getting smaller with 10 laps to go. Can Nyko do it? And finally, the final question: what is the Crowley Voice strategy? Holding on, or perhaps a double stop? Chief is trying to ensure us it's not a double stop. It's not a double stop, but you can't trust anybody in this industry. Maybe he's just trying to fool us. Maybe he's trying to fool anyone else. We're gonna have to see for ourselves, as Nyko is trying to make a move. No, he doesn't have enough pace yet to pass Lepsin, but this is just a matter of time right now. And the only thing we can do is hold on and wait to see what Nyko will deliver, as he's now getting closer to Lepsin again. And is he going to get him down into the final corner of this lap? He doesn't seem like he wants to wait for the next one. Down the inside goes Nico. No! Backs it off. Again, you have to wonder, was that a good decision? I mean, maybe he's trying to be extra caution right now to just get the podium.
He stayed behind to get the DRS.
Yeah, absolutely. He will pass him right now easily, as it's lap 20 out of 29 in total. The gap between Nico and Crowley is 14 points at this moment, at least 3-5-1. So all we have to do right now is just monitorize the gap between Nico and Crowley. But the fight is actually going on in the midfield as Larson and Gecko are going at it for P11, while there's also a fight in the midfield between Vertier and Wonder Tommy. Vertier will go round the outside of the turn 1. No, he's going to perhaps do a switch back. Tried to, but Wonder Tommy took the most of this corner and didn't allow the AlphaTauri driver to pass him. So Vertier will stay P8. Ocean says that Crowley Voice tires are amazing. Well, the definition of the word amazing is a wide one nonetheless. We've got 13 seconds gap between Nico and Crowley. That gap was about 15 seconds a lap ago. That gives us about 2 seconds per lap, maybe at most. With 2 laps to go, I mean, this looks like a possible attack from Nico. And there it is. There's the double stop. I told you, don't trust anybody. So we've got a double stop from Crowley, and now this is gonna get interesting. Fresh softs for Crowley Voice, Nico on mediums, another fastest lap delivered, Lepson on hards. Important question, where is Crowley Voice gonna come out? Ahead of behind Snacks? Gonna come out behind Snacks. So we've got P4 for Crowley Voice. How big is the gap? He's got about 2 seconds to Snacks, then 7 seconds from Snacks to Lepson, and then 1 second to Nico.
Totally.
This is, of course, a very possible scenario where Crowley will win. I mean, looking at his pace on mediums and now thinking that he's going to have softs, which are even better, frightens me. This guy just might be quick enough to make that double stop work, which in theory shouldn't work, but it will, because it's Crowley Voice.
Now we have to stay with Crowley and see the gap we're reducing.
Oh, Quirker retires, but in the pit lane. So I was expecting perhaps a safety car out of nowhere in the end, but that's not going to be the case as he retires in the pit lane. We actually expected like 2 to 3 safety cars. We had none so far, by the way, except for that one virtual safety car. We had none safety cars, and as we're talking, Vertier is making a move around the outside on the Ferrari of Wonder Tommy. It's gonna be tight between those two. Ooh, contact, but Vertier keeps it on the track. But Wonder Tommy is gonna regain the position. Here comes Piggy as well. 2 AlphaTauris going at it, and now Piggy trying to make the most of this corner. Yes, he does. Passes Wonder Tommy. Ooh, Vertier didn't fit in there. It's a nice battle between the AlphaTauris and Ferrari. In the meantime, Crowley Voice not only passed Lepson, but he also passed Eversnax. So now he's P2, and he's 8.5 seconds behind Nico. We're gonna have to keep an eye on that gap of how quickly it's gonna dissolve on our eyes.
Do you
as
think
we try to stick.
He's gonna make it?
It's hard to tell at this point, but Crowley is fast. I mean, he is extremely fast, and I'm pretty sure he will get close to him. Will he pass him at this point in the race? I will say yes. I would have to say Crowley is fast enough to pass Nico, but it's not impossible for Nico to somehow get that pace and hold on to that win. Lepson and Eversnax, these guys will go at it for the podium as well, but there's still a huge fight in the midfield between Wonder Tommy, Peggy, Wesley, Vertier for all the pointing positions, while Dressing Gecko is also in the mix due to Vertier's penalty. So there's plenty of action in the midfield. We've got a battle for podium and a chase for the win. So that's interesting. What's going to happen and which way is this going to go? As they're about to get for lap 23. The gap is 7.7 already.
7.6. And it's just one sector.
Yeah. So Crowley Voice is definitely hunting down Nyko effectively. Fastest lap delivered 131.02. So yeah, if anybody questioned is Crowley quick, he is definitely quick. Is he quick enough? We'll find out in a couple of laps. But I'm gonna have to say that he is. P2, 7.2 between himself and Nyko. Lapson. Oh, we got overtake in the midfield. Piggy gets himself ahead of Wonder Tommy again. Wonder Tommy trying to win the position back into turn 1. Not gonna happen as Wesley is defending from Vertier and he's still holding on to that P9. Larson 0.6 behind Dressing Gecko, technically still in the fight for points, as if he'll pass Gecko, he'll rejoin the fight for the point position due to Vertier's penalty. At this point, we can't do too much than just wait for the final lap, because this is where everything's gonna go down. None of these guys will just pull away enough to be safe before the final lap, so just have to hold on for that lap 29. 6 seconds separating Nyko and Crowley Voice. When it comes to battery situation, Nyko is actually in a huge advantage, 60% comparing to Crowley's 10%, so the battery is on Nyko's side. But he's got only 6 seconds worth of gap ahead of Crowley Voice. However, the laps are counting, and Crowley Voice will need more pace than that if he wants to win this GP. Lepson and Eversnax going at it, even making contact, battling for the podium, switching positions again. Lepson against Snacks. Who's gonna come out in front after this corner? And Lepson, trying to sneak on the inside of Snacks. Thankfully, he backed it off last minute so Snacks wouldn't get turned around. So that was a great sportsmanship from there. He could have tried to go down the inside, but then definitely would have caused him to spin and pick up a penalty. So nice one. And Crowley Voice is 5 seconds behind Nyko, already less than 5 seconds. So he's definitely putting that Ferrari on the next gear, trying to step on the gas. But I mean, we're about to enter lap 25. That 60% of battery should technically give Nyko at least one lap of Crowley Voice not catching him. So Crowley Voice needs to put this Ferrari into a next gear to catch him. 4 seconds as we're entering lap 25. So far it's looking good, but with every single lap, the soft tires of Crowley Voice are getting worse, and they're getting more similar to the level of Nyko's used mediums. So at this point, it's any one win to pick up, literally, between Crowley and Nyko, of course. There's no guarantee favorite for the win, despite the fact Crowley is on fire right now. The whole thing can shift as we'll get closer to the finish line one more time before the final moments of the race. So we're going to have to wait for that final lap as Eversnax is trying to hold on to P3 ahead of Lepson to battle for podium. Guys in the midfield already going in the one separate line with a couple of occasion position swaps from time to time. But we need to keep our eyes open for Crowley, Eversnax, Lepson, and Nyko, because this is a battle for the win, and this is a battle for the podium. Gap between those guys, 3 seconds already. It was 4 seconds entering this lap. So, Ocean Chief says fuel concerns. I would have trusted him if it wasn't for the fact he was screaming no double stop for the last 15 laps. So I'm gonna take Ocean Chief's word that we have fuel concerns as a possible joke or just a troll. So yeah, let's see what's gonna happen.
Yes, who has problem with the fuel? That's the question.
He's trying to say that Crowley Voice is having some fuel concerns, but then again, don't trust the guy. Not the second time, no, don't trust the guy. Maybe he means like Aramco, fuel concerns, I don't know. Let's see. Nyko, 2.4 gap over Crowley. Lap 26 has just begun. And Crowley is still a bit faster than Nico. He's still catching him, but 10% of battery. He keeps on using that. Nico's got 70%. So that is still a chunk of advantage. 2.3 worth of gap right now between the two men. Lepson, he actually dropped back quite a bit. Already more than a second between Lepson and Snax. Snax is having a way better pace right now on these old hards, so he might deliver it to the finish line. As we head on to the long straight, yellow flags in the back, McLaren. There's a yellow flag. Is this possible virtual? I don't think so. 3 laps to go. Shouldn't be much of a case. Anyway, McLaren's back on the track, so just a scare. And 1.9, the gap between Nico and Crowley. And Nico, he has that finger ready to press that battery, and he's going to have to do it sooner or later, because once he allows Crowley to get a DRS from him, this should be a job done from Crowley voice. So if Nico wants to stay in this, he can't allow the Ferrari to get DRS off of him, while Crowley voice is doing his absolute best to hunt him down as we head for lap 27, with the gap being 1.6 between the two gentlemen. And in the meantime, Lepson got caught up towards Ever Snax to equalize that result. Ocean tried to cause the safety car by spinning the McLaren. That is quite the theory. A game theory. 1.587, 1.523. Crowley is really catching up towards him right now in those sectors, but it's already half of lap 27. 1.3. He's not going to get the DRS right now. Nico using just a bit of his battery. Still got 70% of his ERS ready to be deployed at any moment for his wish. And if we're going to include the fact that this might be true and Crowley might have some fuel errors, then Nico just might hold on to that win against all the odds thrown against him. He was starting from pole position. Was under constant pressure from Crowley voice, but he's holding his own. He's using that ERS right now, deployed from 70 to 60%, so that battery is being deployed when needed, just enough to keep Crowley voice from getting a DRS. That is a very smart driving from Nico, very intelligent one. And now he's only going to have to hold on for 2 more laps. Lap 28 is underway as we're heading for 2 final laps. And who's going to win the GP? Nico or Crowley voice? Who's going to be on the podium? Ever Snax or Lepson? Who's going to be in the points? So many questions, and we need more answers. Crowley voice keeps on updating us about the fuel situation. It is minus 0.08, so Crowley has to lift a bit to hold on to his fuel situation and actually finish the race, while Nico deploys battery, and he's now at 50% of battery, but he's holding against Crowley voice with 1.1 being a gap right now. Can Crowley try to get the DRS to the next DRS section? I don't think he will. Evans, Snax, and Lepson keep on exchanging positions between themselves. P3 and P4.
And Crowley's in the
Nico
DRS.
against Crowley. Ooh, he's in the DRS zone. He's in the DRS zone. Nico still has 50% of battery. Let's not get too high up. But Crowley's in the DRS zone. That is huge for the Ferrari. That was the most important part of the plan. Now he needs to pass him and finish the race ahead of him, including the fuel situation. 0.8 worth of seconds. Nico deploying some of the battery again. 46% of ERS, while having only 0.8 worth of gap against Crowley. Voice is now in the slipstream, decreasing the gap heavily as we hit the final lap. And once again in SLR, the final lap is a decider for the win, for the podium, and everything else. Here we go. Nico, Crowley voice, gentlemen, all out. No more holding back. This is it. Crowley voice gets the DRS onto the main straight, trying to find the way past his opponent into turn 1. Is he going to move into the inside? Is he going to do it? No, he's going to back it off. He knows he has a pace. He might do him later. He's going to get another DRS zone right now, and he will get a DRS. Nico is burning the battery down. 40% of battery left, 35, and thanks to this, he's gonna hold on to his position. Crowley is not in a comfortable situation, stuck behind Nico. He will get 2 more DRSs unless he passes him, but Nico still has about 40% of his ERS battery left to be used. Crowley definitely faster in some points than Nico, but Nico's been playing it brilliantly so far. Lapson and Snux, I know these guys are going at it heavily for the podium as well, but we can't keep looking at everything.
Look
as
up
Crowley
here,
Voice is gonna get DRS.
Nico.
Yeah, and Crowley Voice is gonna have a DRS again, but Nico is using that ERS brilliantly. He's using it to pull away from Nico to the DRS zone, so he doesn't allow him to make a move, and it seems like he's gonna hold on to it. 0.5 worth of gap between the two gentlemen. Nico still has 30% of ERS. He just might do it. The final straight. What do you know was the most important? Nico burning down the whole of ERS. Crowley trying to use the slipstream. Is this gonna be enough? I don't think so for Crowley. Nico, he just might do it. He's just gonna hold on to it as they hit the main straight to the finish line. And Nico wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. Now switch quickly to the P3. Who's gonna be on the podium? Snux and Lapson, still nothing decided. Final corner, Lapson, is he gonna make the move on the Williams? He can't. Snux is on a podium in Bahrain, and Lapson misses out right behind him on P4. Then comes Lucas Vetzais, P5 for the Alfa Romeo. As his teammate, he does have a penalty, so he's not gonna finish P6 as he was expecting due to that penalty. He's going to be actually finishing down P7 or 8. Well, that depends how far behind will Larson be as Tilde's penalty gets applied. And it's going to drop back to P8, right behind Larson as well. Inferno Koi P9 and Wesley P10. That closes the pointing position. Piggy, Joel, Dressing Gecko, Antap, Verity, and Boosted Mess outside of the points. Crazy finale. Crazy race finale. And all the congratulations towards Nico, who stood his own, hold his ground, and he's done it from pole position all the way to the front, all the way to the finish line. Picks up the win in Bahrain. Crowley did all he could, but it wasn't enough for Nico today, and Snux wins the podium after an intense battle with Lapson for a couple of last remaining laps. Wow. Are you falling asleep? Come on.
They're very excited today, to be honest.
Yeah.
Larson, driver of the day.
I mean, but who do we pick as a driver of the day? I mean, Nico would be an easy option. But I'm not a fan of giving the driver of the day the guys who started P1 and finished P1. For example, Larson. He started P19. Looking at the fact we had like 19 active drivers, he was the one who started from the bottom, and he finished P7. That is quite the achievement, but what do you say about that?
It takes a lot of courage and driving skill to manage that. You know that.
Yeah, so,
I
mean, if you won't give it to Nico, the chat will eat us.
Again? Let them have us.
No. Okay, Larson, driver of the day from P19 all the way to P7. And for anybody who disagrees, well, too damn bad. Nico has his moment in the sun. He gets huge championship points. And Larson will get the reward for making his job done when nobody else noticed or nobody else did it. We've got Snux in the interview section, so let's get him straight away. Hello, Snux.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
So,
Hi.
quite the race, to say the least, and the finish one as well.
Oh, I am so happy about that result. That was incredibly fun. I haven't been fighting Lapson that much for a while. I maybe some people remember, but I used to fight him for like second and third places all the time. And I'm so glad to be fighting Lapson again. Of course, I think he made a mistake somewhere and probably spun, I think, in the last corner. But yeah, afterwards, that was such a fun end to the race. Yeah, just very happy about that. and yeah, honestly, kind of impressed with my own result as well. Oh, there he is. Hi, Lepson.
Yeah, I don't come for it. I just want to congratulate Max on a great drive, man. Good job.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yep.
thanks, and congrats to you too, man. P4,
No.
and you were faster.
Condolences. No, just kidding. Thanks for the commentary, guys, and this next great job, man. Good job.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, so yeah, the race was quite the sight for sure. And next week, what's coming towards us is Japan Suzuka. How do you feel about the track in Asia?
Well, the thing is, I don't really have time to practice anymore. Lectures have just started here, which is also part of the reason why I couldn't practice for Bahrain. I think I did like 10 laps in time trial for Bahrain in total. And it'll be similar for Japan. Maybe I can find a bit more time to practice. And Japan is definitely a track I do have to practice. Bahrain is one of those. Yeah, I'm pretty good at the track, so I can get back into it pretty quickly. But yeah, Japan will take some practice, especially the S is very dangerous track as well. Really easy to spin. So yeah, I'll try to get some practice in, and then of course I'm going to be pushing for points as always. I'll have to see where I end up though. I'm not going to promise another podium, but yeah, really happy about the one today. Can I just talk about my opening lap for a second?
As long as you made it underneath 9 p.m. because Champions League is about to begin. So
yes, okay, I will talk very quickly. I had such a good launch off the line, and then somebody right next to me had a pretty slow start, I think. Then it just pushed through. We were 3 wide, took those positions, and then on the next straight, taking another positions. I was very happy about that one. I'm looking forward to next week as well because I'm super hyped now. I think Icewind was telling me to go in the chat as well. So yeah, really happy about the result, really happy about the race, and I'm also being forced to tell you once again that my race engineer is awesome, and he helped me achieve that. So thank you guys for commentating, and it was a pleasure racing today.
Yeah, thank you for your time spent with us, and thanks for the incredible fight on the track. We'll see you hopefully next week. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We also have Crowley Voice and Naiko in the interview section, so I believe we'll start from P2. So now let's go to... We started P3, so now let's get to P2. And there it is, Crowley Voice. Hello, and I mean, how do you even explain this? How do you even say anything about the situation?
Hello, boys. Yeah, I was pushing so much. About which situation? The two-stop?
I mean, the
why
double
did you-
stop, the chief saying there was no double stop, then the fuel situation. Was there actually a fuel issue, or is
Yeah. There was a fuel situation.
Ah, okay.
I lifted like 3 or 4 times into turn 1.
Yeah.
And that cost me massively catching Naiko.
I was questioning this because Chief
told
was
you.
saying the whole in the chat like no double stop for Crowley. I know what I'm doing, and then he goes for double stop. I was like, okay.
I mean, the tires were good, so the mediums. I could go to the end.
Mm-hmm.
But
do you think you would hold the lead?
I
in the
was, I decided it before the race. Like, now that Zoom is not here,
Mm-hmm.
let's try to do something different because the gap from P3 was bigger. So, yeah, I was, I didn't have that much of stress this time. So I was more
understandable.
free to just do my thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but still delivered quite a race for us to see, and those final moments definitely entertaining as hell. Next week is Japan. How do you feel about Suzuka?
Yeah, all right. Bad.
That's all right.
It's bad. It's going to be bad. I don't know. I can't recall like racing there. Maybe 2 seasons ago. I think I've done some. Yeah, I think Suzuka was back in the calendar in season 12, if I'm not mistaken, because I do remember our gamer impeding me in the tier 1 qualifying. So yeah, I I really don't know. I mean, I have to practice more again, and we will see the rest in 1 week.
Okay. So yeah, thank you for your time spent with us. Congratulations on the result. Nonetheless, P2 is a good result. That is a podium. And hopefully we'll see you next week in Japan.
Alright, bye-bye. Have a good one.
Bye-bye. And the final guest is no one else than Night Cow, as he is known also. So let's get him in here. Hello!
Hello.
So, quite the race, huh?
I am very sweaty, but yes.
I mean,
It was. I was surprised that Crowley did this 2-stop, but he almost got me in the end.
Yeah, we've heard that one of the reasons he went for double stop was he had some issues with fuel. He didn't have enough fuel to make it to the finish line, so that's why the double stop and a bit of lifting. But nonetheless, you've played that perfectly. I mean, that pole position lap was stunning. The gap over P2 was incredible. Where did you get that from?
I don't know. That was my PB. I got up 0.6 when I started practicing today, and
Damn.
the last corner was pretty bad, so it could have been like a 0.4 or something, but it was pole, so I don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely stunning performance. Still to hold on to that lead. And were you planning to start on hards? Were you expecting that like 99% of the grid will go on the mediums? Were you like the one who was trying to stay out, or you were like maybe hards would be the best choice? Because I feel like only you and Vatsize went for hards on the start of the race.
Well, I didn't know that. I didn't have any clue about the strategy. I was like, yeah, hards are probably good, and then I heard from the Finnish guys that told me that everyone is on the mediums, but I mean not Crowley and Wetzels, but I was a bit surprised, yes, but it worked out, so I don't mind. I don't like, yeah.
I mean, if it works, it works. So I
Yeah.
think it works. Next week, Suzuka. How do you feel about the Japanese track?
Not my favorite track, but I did have a league race there with a pretty good grid, and I started P17 because Qualiban, and I came P3, so I had a bit of pace there, yes, but it's not one of my favorite tracks, but I have pace, pretty good pace.
We'll see that next week. Definitely, we'll be there to see it. So, thank you for your time with us. Congratulations on your race result once again, and hopefully see you next week.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I believe this is everybody.
I don't know how did he get the name Night Cow. You should ask him.
I don't have no idea. It says Nightco. Everybody knows who's talking about. Okay, anyway, that is it, I believe. There's nothing else to add, nothing more to take away from this Grand Prix. Tomorrow also Tier 2 of the Bahrain, Tier 1 at Friday, and then next week Suzuka. And yeah, I believe this is it. City Real Madrid are about to begin, so yeah, thank you for your time with us. My name was CM Punk. Today I was joined by
Fabulas, as always.
And thank you for your time spent with us. And bye.